I'm getting blown now. I'm in my zone now.
Happy Monday. So this morning we're talking about overcoming adversity. Adversity is basically hardships, challenges, things that you go through that you don't really want to go through. Good morning. Things that you can't really see coming, but it happens. It's the cycle of life, good and bad. It's just how life works. There's ups and downs. It's like a roller coaster. Going through adversity is one of the most toughest things you'll ever experience in life. Good morning. But at the same time, it's not so much about going through it, it's about getting through it, So just because you're experiencing very, very hard times, trust me, I understand, doesn't mean that you're not going to make it through. There's so many different situations that are to come, and we're going through one of the hardest adversities we've ever experienced, I think, right now on a global scale, Oh my gosh, there's flames at the bottom. I'm sorry, I'm just so geeked out. Yo, that's so cool. So yeah, shout out to them again for that update. Anyways, adversity, overcoming adversity. So, things like bad news, difficult situations. But one thing to think about is when you experience adversity, bad news, bad situations, the outcomes that you don't want, negative outcomes, how do you handle it? That is definitely crucial, how you handle it, how you perceive it to be. And what you take from it is definitely a huge thing as well. It's not so much about, like I said, going through stuff. It's about, okay, when you make it through it to the other side, how do you feel? What did you take from it? Did you learn anything at all? Was it purposeful, or did you feel like it was a waste of time? Those things are valuable, and we should never feel like we're wasting time, because everything you go through is done to further you in some way. It's always going to be to make you better as a person. We always talk about that. And it's never going to be something that is so confusing to where you don't understand where it's linked in. It may take time for you to understand where it fits in, but when you do, you're going to be very excited, because it's bettering you as a person. It's building you as a person. You just can't see how it builds your character all the time. There are many things that we go through, and we just think to ourselves, why did I even go through that? What was the point of that? And I'm thinking about that now with what we're experiencing. Like, what is the point? I'm not sure yet. I don't think any of us really know, but I have an idea, but I'm not sure if that's the solid theory yet. I feel like all of this stuff is happening so we can come together and be even closer and appreciate each other and appreciate the gift of life and appreciate that our health and our well-being and understand that life is what you make of it, and nothing is promised in life. So that's why you got to treasure those around you very dearly, and you got to take care of those who take care of you. That's the only thing I can conclude for right now. But if I develop something further, I will definitely share it. I'll be more than happy to share it with you, But, okay, so in handling adversity, you have to have confidence. Real, genuine confidence, not something that wavers. I mean, like, really strong confidence. Like, you have to be strong in who you are. You have to develop a sense of self. You have to stay true to that sense of self as well. Be able to stand firm in your capabilities. And understand, even though that these situations are difficult, that doesn't mean that you can't face them head on. Doesn't mean that you have to run from them. And I recommend never running from your adversities, because they catch up to you, whether you know it or not. They always catch up to you. It's never something that goes in vain. You know what I mean? It's always something that's going to come back around. And I find that when you run away from lessons, they keep coming back over to you over and over again, So that's something that you have to be mindful of. That the longer you take to learn the lesson, the more the lesson is going to keep coming towards you. And I find that that's why adversity is there most of the time, because we're avoiding real issues. We're avoiding a lot of self-work. And self-work is one of the main things that life requires. It requires us to face ourselves, even in the most difficult of times, hence adversity. So it's just very frustrating, and I definitely understand how frustrating this process can be, because lately I've been met with so many forms of adversity. I thought I was going to crash and burn, but we still here, we're still talking. You know what I mean? We're still flourishing somehow, and it's very, very confusing at times. It's very, very just strange. Like, there's strange occurrences that happen in life, and it doesn't really make much sense, and it can make you very bitter if you allow it to. So that's one thing to also take into consideration. Try your best not to become bitter because of the things that happen to you. Try your best not to become hateful or spiteful or mean-spirited in any way just because of what's happening to you. Understand that, like I always say, what do I always say? It's not happening to you, it's happening for you. So it's not here to hurt you, it's here to build you. But you have to feel that. You just have to look at the ways in which it's building you. Like I'm trying to do right now. I'm trying to figure out why all these things are happening. They don't really make much sense at the moment, but I'm sure later on down the line I'll figure it out, and I'll be like, oh, okay, so that's why that incident happened, or whatever the case may be, But I do feel like you are given certain instances to have wake-up calls, but the wake-up call to what? Awaken yourself to what is the question. What are we trying to look at? What do we need to be looking at that we keep overlooking? That is the question, and keep a perspective. Always understand that there are people who are going through something similar, if not worse, than you. And this is not a competition to say who's going through the worst things and who's going through the least and all that. It doesn't matter. Most or least, who cares? Like, it's not a competition to see who's dealing with the most. Understand that we are all going through something. It's not something that any of us can escape. So with knowing that, it should be okay for you to take assistance from other people, to take help from other people. That should be something you should be comfortable with. But I get it. I'm not really a person that likes to be helped a lot either. I'm not really comfortable with help from other people. So I definitely understand that. I like to help people. I don't really like to receive help from people. And I know that sounds really bad, but it's like I just like to be self-sufficient. So I definitely understand the struggle of that, but you can only be independent to a certain extent, because in life we have to collaborate. No matter how much we don't want to or how much we fear collaborating, we have to. It's a part of how the world works. It's a part of how we work as people. So it's okay to ask for help. If you really need help, you can get it. It's okay. That doesn't make you weak. That doesn't make you small in any sense of the word. If you need the help, get the help. If anything, it'll help you faster. You can always do something much faster with other people than by yourself, because it takes, what do they say? It's like trying to build a solid foundation. It takes you a while to do it by yourself, but with a team of people, it takes no time at all, And sometimes things in life are going to require a team of people versus one person. There are going to be things, adversities that you can go through by yourself, but for the most part, a lot of things that you're going to deal with are going to have you to ask for help from other people. And I feel like God kind of does that on purpose, so you can break outside of that comfort zone and do something that's going to help you, because you holding back and withholding information because you want to be independent is doing more harm to you than is doing good to you. A lot of times we think, oh, well, I got it. Like me, I will wait till my arms and legs fall off and still never ask for help. I'll be like, oh, I got it. And I'll just fend for myself. Like, that's just the kind of person I am. I just don't know how to do that. So it's a struggle. So it's something that you have to practice, though. I don't know where that comes from necessarily. It could be based on backgrounds. It could be based on just watching your parents handle life a certain way, or your friends, or whoever inspires you. I feel like I got that mindset from my mom, because she doesn't ask for help for anything. She never does. So I don't know. I think that's probably where it came from. But like I said, that doesn't mean it's a good thing, though. because you can't do everything by yourself. You can't go solo dolo all the time. So that's not a real way to live life. That is not being realistic at all, because you're setting yourself up for failure, because at some point you're going to need other people to back you. You're going to need other people to be at your side. Good morning, So keep those perspectives in mind and value other people's perspectives. I always say that because I think that's crucial, to acknowledge other people as well as your own thoughts and feelings. There's nothing wrong with how other people think. Your thoughts aren't better than theirs. Theirs aren't better than yours. It's just we all think differently. We all have similarities but differences at the same time, if that makes any sense. And figure out how to take action in your life. Good morning. There are things that can change your life if you take action, though. If you sit around and you allow adversity to control you and allow these hardships to get to you and instill fear in you, then it's going to be crippling. Adversity should not be crippling. Adversity should be something, like I said, a stepping stone, something to build you, something to make you, mold you. It's like being a brand, you know what I mean? You're branding yourself. All of these things are happening because it's to further you, like I said before. So look at yourself like a brand. When you first start off with a brand, it is a little rough, right? It's a rough patch with the brand because you're not really sure about the imagery yet. You're not really sure about the mission for the most part. Like, you're just developing. It's in the development stage, right? So look at yourself like that. You are a product of life. You are a product of your parents. Your parents came together to make you. You are the brand. Okay? And your parents are like the entrepreneurs of the brand. Okay, so they put this product together. I know this sounds really bad, but no, you get what I'm saying. Like, you are a product of life, though, for real. Now, how do you want to be represented in the world? How do you want to be seen by other people? That's something that you have to take into consideration. When you figure out your branding, your imagery, your persona, however you want to look at it, your attitude, your energy, then you have to stay true to that. You have to stick to that no matter how hard it gets, because it's going to get hard. It's only going to get harder. And that's something that we all need to be comfortable with. Life is only going to get harder. Life is not going to get any easier. I'm just being honest with you. It's never going to be easy. That's just not how life works. So you just have to be open to the challenge and be strong-minded, be strong-willed, never back down. Always say yes to every rising occasion. Never say no and say, I can't do this. Always say, I can do this. I will do this. This is easy. This is a cakewalk. Even if you're scared to death, you still talk to yourself like that, because mind over matter. What you tell yourself is what you believe. So if you believe that you're too weak, you're going to feel that way. If you keep saying that, that's manifestation. You're manifesting your weaknesses. You're manifesting your downfalls. You're manifesting adversity overruling you. And that's not something you want. That's not something that should be. That should never be a thing. Because everything that you speak comes into fruition. So take advantage of that. Why not speak life into your life? Speak life into yourself. Speak true to these dreams, these goals. You want to achieve them, right? So speak it into existence. Say that you're going to claim those dreams today, because you can. Many people do it over and over again. So that's why you have to take action. No one's going to do the work for you. No one's going to take action for you. No one can see your vision but you. You can try your best to explain it to other people, but if it's not for them to see, it's not for them to see. And even if they do see the vision, they're not going to experience it the same way you do, because you are you and they are them. And it's that simple. We are all different individuals for a reason. We are all based on our own products. Like I said, we're products, we're different products with different brandings, and we are all here for different reasons. We might come together at certain points, but we're always going to drift off into our own directions and keep coming back together, drifting off, keep coming together. You know what I'm saying? It's a cycle. We're working as a team, but we all have different reasons for doing what we're doing. So that's why I say, don't feel discouraged if other people don't believe in your dreams or if other people don't believe in you. It's just that everybody's not going to understand you. Everybody's not going to like you. Everything is not going to go your way. But that doesn't mean that you stop. That doesn't mean that you give up. That doesn't mean that you feel less than or you feel unworthy. Because when it's your time, When it's your season, the doors will open. You will feel better. You know, you'll feel more confident. You'll feel like all of this made sense. You know, and everything is going to work out the way it's supposed to. Always keep that in mind. Things may not work out the way you'd like them to, but they're always, and I mean always, going to work out the way they're supposed to, because that's just how life works. The cycle of life cannot be interrupted. You know, all of this is destined. Whatever's destined to be will be. Whatever's meant to be will be, as they say, because that's true. We have no control over those things, but we can control how our mentality is. We have full control over how things affect us mentally. Always keep that in mind. You may not be able to protect yourself from every form of physicality in the world, but mentality is everything. That is the only thing that keeps you safe. I can't stress it enough. I said it last night, and I always say it time and time again. Protect your home. Protect your mind. Your mind is your home. Keep your home safe from harm. Keep your home safe from harm by deflecting negativity, by not giving into rage and all those negative emotions, and not letting adversity destroy you, but allowing it to help build your brand as the product you are, the product of God, the product of your parents, the product of the great individual you were designed to be. You know, so ask for help when needed. And honor the struggle. Take pride in what you've been through. It's almost like having battle scars. You know how there's like those old stories, those ancient stories or whatever, like the hero, the underdog in the story. You are the underdog. And you know what? The underdog always does what? The underdog always comes out on top. The underdog always wins. And that's why I love those stories of underdogs. Because those are the people that everybody doubts the most. Those are the people that people walk on, they talk to like trash, and they just think that that person is beneath everyone, and it's the one that no one ever sees succeeding. It's the person that everyone says, oh, that person is so weak, and he or she takes forever to do anything, or they're never going to be anything. And I'm sure we've all had those people talk to us like that, and look at that as, wow, they really do want me to make it because they're fueling me. You know, look at it as that. Don't look at it as they're putting you down. Look at it as they're challenging you. You know, they're telling you, are you up for the challenge, and are you going to back down and show them that they're right, or are you going to stand up to the opportunity and prove them wrong? That's up to you. But I know I want to prove haters wrong each and every day. I want to prove myself wrong with those doubts that I have all the time. You know, I think we all deserve to do that. Prove yourself wrong. When you have those doubts, tell yourself, hey, self, knock that off. We're not dealing with that today. We're not dealing with that ever, because it's not true. You know, it's definitely not true. Whatever you give power to is what will be. So you have to be careful. Be extra, extra careful with what you say and what you do, because all of it comes to pass. Shayna had said that in the morning show one morning. She was like, be careful what you ask for or what you wish for, because it can happen. And that's a scary thought, but it doesn't have to be. Because if you flip that, you can turn that into something great. You can say, you know what? My words do have power. My actions do have power. So let me turn that into something great and actually succeed then. Let me speak on my success. Let me speak on my achievements, you know. And sometimes in life, you have to act like you've been there already. Sometimes you have to step into that success already as if it's already happened. Because the minute you live like you are successful, I feel like you believe it. And the more you believe in something, the more it comes true, the more it happens, the more it gravitates towards you. You get what I mean? So sometimes you have to, as City says too, fake it till you make it. A lot of people are doing that. A lot of people are putting on a brave face because they're confused or they're scared and they're uncertain of where their life is going. But that doesn't mean that they stop. Good morning, Luz. And I promise you, the ones who succeed are the ones that never take no for an answer. The ones that succeed, they've had the doors slammed in their faces many a days, many a times, many a moments. But you know what they do? They find ways around that. They break through the barriers. They don't let the obstacles break them. They allow the obstacles to build them instead. And that's why they are successful today, because they took adversity and they took it as a joke and they kept going. If anything, it was like their energy boost, you know, and that's how you have to look at it. In order to succeed, you have to keep trying. It's an endless game of trial and error. That's just all we're gonna do over and over and over again. I hate to say it like that, but I can't lie to you. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm not gonna lie to myself, because we're always going to go through trial and error as long as we're alive. We do not have all the answers, nor are we supposed to. We're supposed to figure life out. That is the whole purpose of being here, to find answers, to create solutions, to be a solution for someone else, those in need, you know? And like I said, it's okay for you to ask for help, and it's okay to give help, you know, but we just have to learn how to do both. We have to be on the receiving end. We have to be on the giving end in life. That's the only way to get through adversity, because like I said, what did I say before? You can't get through everything alone every time. It's just not realistic.
I'm getting blown